What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a while, probably a little over a year. Sorry about that. We've just been so slammed with work, and a lot of the work we do is blowing and going, really. I mean, it's fast-paced. I just don't have the time always to hold the camera there with me to record and show what we're doing. Even to do a time lapse a lot of times is tedious on having to stop and grab the camera and restart it, but I'm going to try to be a lot better about it, because I've had a few people ask me, you know, where's the next video, so on, you know, so on and so forth. So let me go ahead and show you what we got going on today. Is we're going to be changing some tires. As you can see, I've got my umbrella set up, and I got the tire set here, and I got one tire holding the umbrella because it is pretty windy today, as well as about 100 degrees. You know, we're in West Texas, so the heat here is not nice to tires. I probably do this about twice every summer, sometimes, you know, more. It just kind of depends. But let me show you. This tire obviously had a pretty bad blowout, blew out the whole side, just ate it up. I don't know if that was caused from it being underinflated or whatever it may be, but yeah, it blew out the side. The tire was actually still pretty good. On this one, I was pulling into a property. They had something sticking out of the ground I didn't see, and sliced the tire. I mean, sliced right through it. As you can see, that sucked, but it is what it is. Can't do anything about it now. So the tires that I bought for it are these Atturo. If you can see that, they're Atturo tires. They're 16-inch. Let's see, they are 235 85 16s. They're 14 ply. I believe they're rated G, or G rated, however you want to say that. But I paid $107 for them online. I ordered them on a Monday. They got here on a Wednesday afternoon, so I mean, that was super fast shipping. I'm not affiliated with these guys at all. I was just very pleased with them. I will put the link of the company I bought the tires from in my in the bio or below, so that way you guys can check them out, see if you can get some good deals on your trailer tires, truck tires, whatever it may be. But again, I'm not affiliated with them. I don't make any money off of it. Just very pleased with it. I got my 2 tire irons here, or some people call them tire spoons, because you got one end that looks like a spoon. I've got 2 different ones here, but they do the same thing. This will be the side I use to dismount. That will be the side that I use to mount. And I'm only going to use soap and water today, because I want to use something that somebody's going to more than likely have on their vehicle, instead of actual you know, the liquid that they sell for tire mounting and dismounting. Hopefully there's not too much wind in the background. We're also going to be changing the valve stems on both of these, because if you change tires, you need to change your valve stems. And on a side note, I've got some cool little projects coming up, I believe. I gotta wait for it to cool down, because it's just too hot. But over here where I've got all this junk, we're gonna build a shop. And back there, if you can see, I've got a gooseneck. I don't know if you can see that, but I traded my pipe trailer for that, and we are going to make it a dovetail, because it's not a dovetail. And yeah, I just, you know, other little things that we're gonna do around here when it starts cooling off. I still got 3 months for that, but we also got some pretty cool projects that we're working on right now, as far as work wise, that if they go through, I think will be really beneficial for a lot of people to watch and learn from, and you know, pursue what we're going to be doing. I'm not going to give details on that yet, because nothing's finalized, but fingers crossed it all works out. We got some great people that we're working with, and yeah, I'm pretty excited for them. Just, you know, going with the flow, see what happens. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with this tire, because obviously I've got this one holding the umbrella, and it's just smoking hot out here. So, you know, got to take your time. I'll tell you that. If you live somewhere where it's hot like I do, and it's really dry heat. It's not even humid. When it's humid, it's even worse, but it's pretty dry heat. When you live somewhere like this, you got to drink plenty of water, and you got to stay cool. You got to take breaks. There's no shame in it. There's no being more manly because you worked out in the sun longer than one person did. That's stupidity. When it's like this, you got to take breaks. You got to stay cool and pace yourself. That's a huge deal, because that's how a lot of people, they have strokes or worse, you know, heat exhaustion or heat strokes, or you know, they get dehydrated or they drink too much water, and it's just it's not good. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. I will try to if I feel like there's something I need to explain, I will, but yeah, just watch. Probably be fairly self-explanatory, but we'll see. All right, so first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell you, you need to mount and dismount your tire from the face, which is what I'm calling the face is the outside, what's facing the outside of the trailer or the vehicle, because you have a less of a lip on that bead. It's easier to mount and dismount on this side. If you try to do it on the other side, it's difficult because the tire doesn't rotate inside of the rim when you get that first bead on, or that, you know, the first lip of the tire on. It doesn't move quite like you need it to. So always do it from the what I'm calling the face. I don't know if that's correct terminology, of the rim. Wet it down real good. There's not too much. Can't use too much of it. No such thing. This stuff is abundant. Even so, what I'll do sometimes is kind of rub it in here, get a little more soapy or whatever it may be that you're using. I've even used WD-40 to do this in a pinch, because I had that on the truck. All right, as you can see, I already got one side off. And I thought I broke the bead on this side, but looks like I didn't. I don't have a bead breaker. I usually use a high lift jack on my trailer and pop that bead off. Sometimes you can use this to pop that bead if it came down to it. I have before. It's just not as easy. So let's get one other thing to try this out. All right, we're gonna try this with a sledgehammer first. There's a couple ways I'll show you to try this if you're out on the side of the road. You don't have a bead breaker sledgehammer like what I don't have. There's a couple ways to do this. Couple good whacks, it pops right off. Flip it back over. Just like that. Give it a little bit of love and pops right off. take your new tire, and these are not directional, so there's not a specific way to do this. All right, next part is mounting the rim. You're gonna butt down the tire with your solution. These tires are not directional, so there's not a specific way to put these on. Remember, we're gonna start with the face, what I'm calling the face. You see how it's not as wide? Allows this tire to move and cooperate how you need it to. This right here to me is the hardest part. All right, flip it over. Essentially do the same thing. You hear me huffing and puffing, mind your business. All right, so you saw that little issue I had. I didn't pop it over. I sprayed it down, hit it with the sledgehammer, and popped right in. All right, so these are the valve stems I'm using. They are heavy duty valve stems. I just went up to Discount Tire, and the guy actually gave them to me. I got 6 of them. I usually, like I said, I go through these quite a bit. And then I just had like a little tire repair kit that's got this valve stem tool, and I screw it on there, pull it right through. Pretty easy, self-explanatory. Let me show it to you, real easy. So as you can see, I didn't put the valve stem on first. I did that to kind of show that if you forget to do it, it's not the end of the world, but it is ideal to put these on first. But if not, just take your tire irons, whatever you're using, create a little gap so that way you can get down in there and push this through. I might need 2 hands to do this, but let's see if I can set this up so you can watch. So I got a little bit of a space in here, just enough, push down on that tire iron to give myself just enough space to fish this thing through. And then you just thread this bad boy on. Put a little razzle dazzle stuff on there, help it out some, and there it is. Pops right through. Pull this off, and now you're ready to put air in it. These tires are so thick that there won't be a problem trying to air them up, so we'll do that at the end. We'll get this other one changed first. All right, so as you can see, I already got the bead popped off this one, and I'm cooking. It's too dang hot out here, so let's go ahead and try to get this one popped off real quick. The problem with this water and soap is when it's hot like this, it dries up so fast, so fast. I don't know if you can tell, but this tire been sitting for a while. Look at all that dirt. Nasty. This tire actually blew out when I went and bought the skid steer on my way home. All right, I had to go inside and cool off for a minute because it's cooking out here. This tire is old, and that's why it's giving me so much trouble. Wow. Okay. This is nuts. There we go. Old tires are really hard to take off, and this is actually this might be one of the original tires from when I bought the trailer. All right. So now that we got that on, let me show you a visual of what I'm talking about. So this is the side that you want to mount and dismount from all the time. You will not get it to mount or even dismount from this side, I promise you. If you do, very, very lucky. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna get stuck and you're gonna have to cut it off. So I made that mistake once, damaged the tire, the sidewall. Luckily, I was able to get it to work, but it almost cost me a brand new tire. So the side where you have the smallest distance from this recess to the rim, to the outside of the rim, that's the side you want to mount from. And that will be like that every single time. So let's go ahead and do this valve stem right here. We'll go ahead and do it since we don't have the rim on, or the tire on. And this isn't always necessary, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Makes it a little easier. All right, new valve stem is on. Let's go ahead and put the cap on just so we don't lose it. And let's get our tires. All right, so as you can see, I got both tires mounted now. The second tire, I didn't get to record mounting it. I did, but I guess the camera overheated because, like I said, it was actually about 102 today. Even with the camera covered with the umbrella, it still overheated, quit recording, and I didn't even know. So when I finished up, I grabbed the camera and it was off. And so I went inside, put the SD card in, and sure enough, it didn't record the whole process of me putting the second tire on, but you got to see the first one. Pretty straightforward. The second tire gave me some trouble because it was so old that it would not come off. And so you kind of saw in the video what I did there, but I ended up laying it down and basically just kind of prying up with both of the tire irons, prying up, and I would alternate from one side to the other and keeping pressure on one side and then the other as I'm prying up, wiggling it, and it finally popped up. But usually you can just stand the tire up and put that tire iron in and then pop it up and use gravity at an angle to what you saw in the video, I believe. Use gravity at an angle to make that rim just kind of fall out. But regardless, now we're going to go ahead and put air in these. I'm just going to use a pancake compressor because this is what most people are going to have in their vehicle, unless, you know, I do carry a bigger compressor in the truck typically, but this is what most people are going to just have on hand. It'll do just fine. It just takes a little bit longer. So and as you can see, it's still pretty windy. The wind has destroyed my umbrella, literally bent the base of it. So, you know, what am I going to do? I can't do anything about it, but it is what it is. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these tires aired up, and you'll see that they don't require a lot of lifting and playing with to get them to seat, because that bead is so thick that it's already sitting almost on the bead of the rim, and it doesn't need a whole lot of work to seal up. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so we got both aired up, so that would complete the job. Get this set over here with this other one. Sorry, it got dark on me real quick. We had some errands to run, so when I got back it was already getting dark. All right, well, I appreciate everybody watching. Sorry again that it's been so long, but I'm gonna be putting out some more videos here very soon. Got a lot of projects, like I said, coming up that we're really excited for. So on that note, on to the next one.